you. Have you ever thought that our workplaces could be organised differently and could be organised in a better way? I believe that employee ownership is a much better way of organising the workplace, and that's my topic for tonight. I want to start by asking you to imagine a scenario involving two companies which in many ways seem quite similar. They're based in the same location, they both produce widgets, and the salary levels are roughly similar, or roughly equal in both organisations. But there's one fundamental difference. In the first company, which I'm going to call Just a Job Limited, the employees clock in at 8 AM, they clock out again at 4:30 PM, and they do a fair day's work for a fair day's wages. But that's really the extent of their commitment. There's a fairly hierarchical management structure in place with supervisors, line managers and senior management, and they really just do, the employees really just do as they're told. Contrast that with Employee Ownership Rules Limited. In this company, information is widely shared and understood. The employees have autonomy in their roles and are consulted in major decisions affecting the company, and they also get to share in the rewards if the company is successful. Crucially, the employees in this company feel, think and act like owners in the business. And rather than just thinking about their particular role or department, they think about the bigger picture. Now, I've got 4 questions that I want to ask you about this scenario. The first question is, which company would you want to invest in? I'm not going to ask for a show of hands, but from experience, most people would say the second company. It just makes more sense. If the employees are engaged and are able to share in the rewards for their contribution, then company performance is more likely to be better. My second question is, which company would you want to work for? And again, this is a bit of a no-brainer. Who wouldn't want to work for a company in which you've got more influence and control and you are able to get rewards for your contribution? So my third question for you is, why aren't there more companies in Scotland organised in this way? And the answer to that is largely due to lack of awareness, particularly amongst business advisors. If people are looking to sell their companies and they go and speak to the lawyers and accountants, most of them just don't realise that this is an option in terms of structuring your business. So my final question for you is, why is your company not organised like this? I want to give you a few examples of companies in Scotland that are employee-owned. The first one is a company called Clansman Dynamics. It's based in East Kilbride. It's an engineering company that designs and manufactures robotic handling equipment. And the owner of the company, Dick Bilbrick, could easily have sold his company to an overseas competitor. But for Dick, the key concern for him was that he wanted engineering jobs to stay in Scotland. Clansman Dynamics became employee-owned in 2009, and since then turnover has increased by over 60%. Productivity, profitability and innovation have also risen. The company, the majority of shares are now held with an employee benefits trust, so no major decisions can be made without the trustees agreeing, and the trust includes elected employees. They hold regular pizza and coke meetings where the company performance is discussed with everyone. They're able to ask questions and the employees are able to have a say. The second company is Scotland 5. That's an industrial textile manufacturer based in Tayport. It's a family business and has been going for 140 years. The key concern for the Tough family was that they wanted that company to be rooted in the local community and continue to provide jobs for the local people in Tayport. The two brothers, who were the majority shareholders, have converted their ordinary shares into preference shares with no voting rights, and those shares will be bought out over a period of time. The company has both elected employee directors, elected employee trustees and also a works council. So communication is not just top down, it's also bottom up. Scotland 5 see that the move to employee ownership will ensure that the company is sustainable and also that it will continue to be innovative. My final example is a company called Accord Energy Solutions, which is a niche hydrocarbon accounting consultancy based in Aberdeen. Now this one's slightly different from the other two examples because it didn't become employee-owned as a result of owners looking to exit the business. Instead, it was set up with the intention of being employee-owned from the start. The three founders viewed employee ownership as inherently fair and also see it as a way of attracting and retaining the best talent in an extremely competitive market. They've taken a two-staged approach. So initially they set up a share incentive plan, which was an extremely tax-efficient way for employees to own shares, and it rewarded early joiners. Eventually the majority of shares will also move into a trust. Now you might think, well, this is all very well and good for SMEs, but it wouldn't work for a larger concern. Well, how about a company that employs over 85,000 employees? The John Lewis Partnership has been employee-owned for over 80 years. It recently announced net profits of over 400 million, which is incredible in an extremely difficult sector in terms of retail. And every staff member, from the cleaner to the managing director, will enjoy a 17% bonus this year, which is equivalent to about 9 weeks' salary. So I want to end by asking you to consider employee ownership because it's better for companies. Productivity, profitability, innovation are higher. Companies are more sustainable and they're able to take longer term decisions. It's better for the employees because employee well-being is higher. They have higher job satisfaction and they're financially better off. It's better for exiting owners because they can ensure that their company remains independent, the values are maintained, and it's the only exit option that gives you complete control over the sales process. And finally, it's better for society. Employee ownership leads to greater income equality, which is a raft of benefits. It sustains jobs in the local community, and there are also health benefits associated with employee ownership. So I do hope that I've sparked your interest in this topic and that you'll join me in the second half of the evening for a further discussion. Thank you.